there's my son with a hybrid. I'm gonna zoom in. This is a cross between a pumpkin seed and a bluegill. You can see bluegill in him. You can see the turquoise from the pumpkin seed up by his cheek. Drill that beetle spinner, that jig spinner. Nice job, buddy. All right, my son Parker with a nice colored in bluegill with his breeding colors. This is part 2 of summertime bed, or early summer bedding sunfish. In part 1 we were on a different lake. We're only about 5 miles away from that lake here, and we're looking for bedding sunfish again, and we're finding fish in a bunch of spots. We'll talk about those spots as we go along. Okay, we got a nice about a 8-inch bluegill male there. So we're just a couple days later than part 1. We're on a smaller lake than we were on the first one. The water's a couple degrees warmer, and we're finding we've got bluegills and pumpkin seeds on the beds. We've got and we've also got one staging on the inside edge of the weeds, just out from the beds. We've got crappies in the weeds, and it looks like they're spawning. We're also catching bass and pike. Oh, we got another one. 2 casts in a row. This lake we're catching bluegills, pumpkin seeds, and hybrids. What we got here? We got a nice pumpkin seed here. I showed that hybrid. So, but what we're finding here is even the ones on the beds, they want to bait moving horizontally more. We're catching a few suspending a soft plastic underneath the bobber, but we're catching most of them with the soft plastic on the jig with the little jig spinner slow rolling it across. Nice fish there, buddy. So we'll talk more about the areas and a little more about the equipment and catch a bunch more fish here in part 2 of early summer bedding sunfish. And my son's got another one here. Oh, nice. Nice sized male bluegill there, getting his bedding colors drilled. We're catching them on a lot of stuff, but so far today the best bait has been a search bait. Even when we find the beds, the fish on the beds are hitting that. You can see it swinging around there. It's a 16th ounce. I'll have you show it in a minute, but yeah, we'll get a good look at that fish. And we're not keeping anything again today. We got plenty of fish, so we'll get that big boy back to guard the nest. Okay, so here's the bait right now. It's a 16th ounce VMC Moon Eye jig. We're varying baits. This is a 2-inch Berkeley Ripple Shad, Berkeley Power Bait, and then a number 1 size jig spinner. And we're just throwing that out. Why don't you go ahead and make a cast, and we'll show how we're doing this. He's just probably getting another fish. We're just flipping that out past where we see the beds, or when we're searching for beds, we just work it along inside. We're kind of following the inside weed edge, and the beds will be somewhere inside there. He knows there's beds right between where he threw and where he landed there. And then you can see he's just kind of pointing the rod at a 45, but we got hit. And it's just slow rolling that back. That's coming across the beds, and then we're sitting just into the weeds. It's coming over the top of the weeds, and sometimes when it gets into the weeds, we're catching crappies, bass, and pike as well. And the sunfish some are on the beds, some are in the weeds, some are right along the inside weed edge. All right, we got another one here. Ooh, nice, plump, colorful, bedding color bluegill there. We're knocking him around pretty good here. Oh yeah, he's spraying. Let him go. Got him on that jig spinner again. Changing colors a little bit. We're using some white, some silver, and some orange and chartreuse too. It doesn't really seem to matter right now. Hey. Wishing this one was a sunfish, as hard as it's pulling, but it's a small bass. But the bass are up here. We got the whole deal going on. We have the sunnies, some bedding, and So I'm staging, getting ready to bed. We're right at the beginning of it. So the sunnies are inside the inside weed edge on the harder bottom and right along the inside weed edge. We have crappies that are spawning in the weeds, so you can catch those too while you're doing this. And then the small female sunfish are out in the weeds staging, and the bass are up here chasing them around, and pike, so you can catch bass and pike. And we're getting to the middle of the day here, which doesn't affect the bite really at all of the sunfish. For the crappies, it can slow the bass and pike bite a little bit, but in the middle of the day, these smaller little baits will go after them anyway. So you can catch all different species doing this. Alright, what do we got here? Got a nice pumpkin seed. Yeah, that's a nice one. Get him back. On that jig spinner again, we that spotted beds we were on, we kind of burned it there. They've slowed down, so we're just moving down using the search technique to try to find more. All right, got a nice bluegill here. On that jig spinner again, that's beauty there. We got another bluegill here, not quite as big as some of the ones we've been catching, but still nice and beautifully colored. It's one of the prettier ones today. Look at that. All right, I got a squabbler on here. Oh. A big one and a brilliantly colored one. Jig spinner out of his mouth. Look at that baby. 9-inch bull bluegill there in his full bedding breeding colors. All right, my son hoisting aboard here. Ooh, a nice hybrid. He literally just cast it out after filming that bluegill of mine, and bam. Hybrids and pumpkin seeds got bigger mouths. You can lip them bigger mouths than the bluegills. Nice fish, buddy. How do you hit that?
Pretty hard.
They're smacking it, aren't they? A couple of mine have almost popped the rod out of my hand. They're drilling that jig spinner. Right, yeah, there's some beds. I don't know if it'll show up through the water, but if you can see the light spots down there, we've got another group of beds under the water down there. All right, my son just got hammered by the ball. Ooh, look at that hybrid. Oh, oh, oh. There's the beauty there, pal.
This is the most hybrids I've ever caught in a day.
Yeah, they're pretty thick out here. Actually, we've caught more hybrids than pumpkin seeds, I think. I mean, bluegills the most, and then hybrids, and then pumpkin seeds. But look at that. Well, he wanted it too, didn't he? All right, 9.5-inch hybrid there. Put that bad boy back. Nicely done, pal. Got a nice bluegill here. On a jig spinner. Nice bedding bluegill there. 8.5 inch, good colors. Big bull back. All right, what do we got here? Ooh, we got a real pretty, nice bluegill here. That's the thing, you hear me saying, what do we got? What do we got when we're catching them here? The nice thing with the bedding gets going here, depending on what is available in your lake. This lake's got bluegills, like that beautiful one there. It's got pumpkin seed sunfish. And then it has hybrids going on, which is a cross, mixed breed between a bluegill and a pumpkin seed. So, oh, a turtle popped up to take a look at us right there. So out here it could be any of those three species, and we're catching some crappies. You can feel crappies bite differently, so you can always tell when it's a crappie, but when it's a sunfish, you gotta kind of wait till you get up close enough to see which of the three it's gonna be. All right, this one just hammered me here. I think he missed it once, and then he came back the second time. Nice, big, fat, colorful bluegill male there. But you can see here, it's just, we're not filming every fish because a lot of times we got doubles going on. So if somebody happens to not be in the middle of a cast when somebody else catch ones, we're filming. But I mean, we've been doing this, what time is it? We've been doing this for less than an hour, and I'm sure we've caught 50 or 60 already. And that's how it is when they get up on the beds. Important though, just take a fresh meal if you want. We're not taking any today, but doesn't mean you have to keep your limit every single day. We don't want to clean these big things out. They're just gonna keep providing more and more fun every year if we keep plenty of them in the water. Just trying to see what we got. We got a bluegill again here. We found this. We were moving along again with these jig spinners looking because we kind of burned the last spot. The beds are kind of just scattered along the inside weed edge, and now we've caught what, like 4 of them here in about 2 minutes. So we definitely got another little batch of beautiful. And these are mostly bluegills. We haven't caught a pumpkin seed or a hybrid here yet. All right, thanks for the fun, buddy. Oh, I got a nice bluegill. Look at that chunk. That's our biggest bluegill of the day there. Woo. Look at that bad boy. That's a 9.5-inch bluegill there. Getting that purplish pinkish hue on the sides, the bright orange belly, getting into all his glory colors for break. Go back and get on the beds there, big fella. And we just released that big one of mine, and my son casts out. Oh, another beautiful bluegill. Look how pretty that one is, how gorgeous that is. Zoom in on that. Look at the orange. Getting that pinkish hue along the sides under the green bars, and that is a big, fat, round one. And we're having trouble unhooking them. They're just chomping on it. It's another about 9.25-inch beastie bluegill there. Nice job, buddy.
These last 2 have been really round.
The last 2 have been just that round shape, yeah. And back he goes. There he goes.
Double.
That's quite a double there, yeah. Ooh, and my son hoists hard. Look at that one. Size, pretty. That's a 9.25, 9.5-inch bluegill there with all his colors.
He slammed it.
Yeah, he's gonna be hooked. They are just hammering that thing. It's funny, I'm sight fishing some beds right off the back of the boat. You can see my float there. And they will not take that bait, sit still over them. They want that bait. All right, 9.25-inch round, colorful bluegill going back. There he goes. Nice job, buddy. All right, Parker. Ooh, nice, colorful, nice male, nice bread and butter 8.5-incher there.
Oh,
He's spraying. If you're looking to eat something, that's perfect there. Fresh sunnies fried up. Don't get much better than that. Nice fish there, buddy. Close up in. Got all the green colors there. Yeah. They're so beautiful this time of year. All right. Go back to the beds. There he goes. Nice job. All right. Just pitched back out after that one of my sons, and bam, beautiful orange belly. Oh yeah, he's spraying me. That we have referenced that spraying us. That's their sperm. They're getting ready to fertilize the eggs on the bed. So when you hold them tight enough to get the hook out, put enough pressure, squirt a little bit of that sperm out. All right, what do we got here? We got another bluegill. Oh, a nice one. This is a big one. This is more of a 9-incher here. That big dog. Just beautiful and fun. And my son and I were just talking up on the beds here. They're, the hormones going for laying eggs and spawning. They are just aggressive and vicious. They are hitting this. They've almost taken the rod out of our hands a few times. It's like a largemouth bass throwing a spinnerbait, and then they just fight. This is so much fun. Got to get kids out for this. Parker's not a little kid anymore, but even us big people like this, don't we?
Yeah.
Can't beat it. Slamming right by the pool here. What do we got? Oh, we got a nice, big, colorful bluegill here. I'm gonna walk around the other side so I'm not silhouetted by the sun, so you can see that's the brightest orange belly yet today. Look at that. It's a big round one too. That is a beauty. I'm gonna get a picture of that one before we let him go. Talking about beds and bedding sunfish, we're going to show some underwater video here. You'll see here near the beginning of the video, you'll notice sunfish swimming around in the background, and you'll see little clumps of weeds on kind of sandy areas, and the beds are in between those. And then coming up at the end here, you'll see a classic close-up of the round fanned out bed done by a bluegill, with the bluegill sitting right on top of it. You can see fan the soft bottom out to expose the hard bottom below it.